Not bad, Hanju thought as he looked at the 9 divine stars. Then, he began to check his emails and discovered that the most active person in the past 10 million years was not Han Huang, not Huang Zuntian, but Zhao Shuangchuan. Many good friends were besieging him, and the number of times he was attacked was also in the mass emails. TSK, was he following Han Huang's path? Hanju noticed that Zhao Shuangchuan had established the 9 extremes orthodoxy. Could this be the prelude of the 9 chaos? Interesting. Wouldn't it be even more explosive for the 9 divine stars to fight against the 9 extremes orthodoxy in the future? Yes. That's it. Hanju's goal for the 9 divine stars directly grew to the 9 chaos. This was more meaningful. Hanju smiled and didn't say anything else. He began to check on Huang Zuntian. Although he was attacked, sealed, and devoured from time to time, Huang Zuntian had always been alive. Why isn't primordial origin here? Could it be because of Han Huang's previous performance? Hanju thought silently. This was not a good thing. The longer primordial origin delayed, the more Huang Zuntian suffered. He secretly teleported to the main Dao field, took out the Book of Misfortune, and started cursing primordial origin. However, his curse missed. The other party couldn't be cursed. Although the Book of Misfortune was an ultimate supreme treasure, it had never been to the ancient primordial world. Its karma couldn't involve the ancient primordial world. What a good place. It was suitable for cultivation. Hanju sighed in his mind. However, since the Book of Misfortune had been taken out, there was no reason to put it back. He would let the 9th chaos bear primordial origin sins. Hanju started cursing the 9th chaos. 5 days later, his lifespan began to decrease. Recently, the chaos Providence had increased greatly. Hanju had to spend more lifespan to prevent the 9th chaos from breaking. 100 million years of lifespan. 10 billion years of lifespan. 1 trillion years of lifespan. 100 trillion years. 1 quadrillion years. 10 quadrillion years. 100 quadrillion years. Hanju saw the email that 9th chaos was injured, but there were no new injuries. He decided to continue cursing. Hanju paused after spending 1.3 quintillion years of his lifespan. An email appeared in front of him. Because of your curse, your good friend 9th Chaos Dao heart shattered and he developed mental demons. Even a powerful Dao creator would develop mental demons? Hanju didn't dare to continue, afraid that the 9th chaos would go mad and slaughter the innocent. He put away the Book of Misfortune and looked at the chaos. Indeed, the chaos order collapsed. The edge absorbed countless grudges and gave birth to evil devils. They were formed by the 9th chaos mental demons and were extremely savage and terrifying. However, there were many chaotic experts. These evil devils could not threaten the chaos foundation. Hanju returned to the 3rd Dao field and went to visit Mo. On the other side, in a mysterious dark space, 2 figures emitting divine light gathered. One of them had a huge head with 8 eyes and was ghastly and terrifying. The other looked like a human, but his true appearance could not be seen. Chaotic consciousness, formless transcendent. Deity, do you sense it? The chaotic consciousness asked. The formless transcendent deity replied, yes, the chaotic rule is in chaos again. It seems that his cultivation is in trouble. It's not that simple to surpass the Tao creator realm. The chaotic consciousness said, there are more and more evil devils in the chaos. I can't deduce their background. I'm afraid it's related to him. This is not good. The formless transcendent deity was silent. The formless transcendent deity asked, but if he really is possessed, what is the reason? To a small hill. The immeasurable destruction venerable said, I know the reason. What's the reason? Dark Forbidden Lord. What? Dark Forbidden Lord? The chaotic consciousness was a little surprised. He was the earliest Tao creator to pay attention to the Dark Forbidden Lord. A long time ago, he had felt that the Dark Forbidden Lord was very dangerous, but too many living beings in the chaos pretended to be him. Too many living beings might be the Dark Forbidden Lord. After all, the chaos did not belong to him. He didn't dare to kill without restraint. That's right. He asked me and the Divine Might Heavenly Sage to investigate the Dark Forbidden Lord. The formless transcendent deity said, speaking of which, the Dark Forbidden Lord. And the Divine Might Heavenly Sage rose at the same time. However, what happened previously proved that the Dark Forbidden Lord was someone else. We can't suspect him. The chaotic consciousness said, the Divine Might Heavenly Sage has also been cursed. The two sides are probably enemies. The Divine Might Heavenly Sage's rise was already unbelievable. Perhaps he used some kind of fortuitous encounter. This fortuitous encounter might have given birth to an opposite force. The two Tao creators were silent and pondered. Where's Nirvana? When will he arrive? The chaotic consciousness asked. The immeasurable destruction venerable replied, I can't contact him. He should still be in seclusion. The chaotic consciousness suddenly asked, could it be him? Could the Divine Might Heavenly Sage be related to him? The two Tao creators fell silent again. A Tao creator couldn't be kind to another Tao creator, so they were very wary of each other. The formless transcendent deity said, all right, let him guess. We're only Tao creators who are about to be suppressed. Instead of thinking about this, why don't you think about how to deal with it? What should we do if what we guessed happens? The immeasurable destruction venerable said, we have to join forces with the other Tao creators. But we will be easily discovered if we do this. The chaotic consciousness said, let's do it here. We can rope in the other two Tao creators and open our hearts. We can only gamble. The two Tao creators hesitated for a moment before nodding. In the Taoist temple of the third Tao field, Hanju was cultivating when a line of words suddenly appeared in front of him. The chaotic consciousness sent you a dream. Do you accept? Hanju ignored him. His seclusion period was not over yet. How could it be interrupted? Thousands of years later, the immeasurable destruction venerable sent you a dream. Do you accept? Ignore. How annoying. Hanju was unhappy. Another 100,000 years passed. Someone sent another dream. The formless transcendent deity sent you a dream. Do you accept? So many? Did something happen in the chaos? Hanju opened his eyes and looked at the chaos. Everything was fine. His good friends were still alive. It was probably a trap. He closed his eyes again. He waited until his 10 million years of seclusion were up before opening his eyes again. Hanju, who was already 170 million years old, thought for a moment and sent a dream to the immeasurable destruction venerable. The dream was a blank domain. Hanju asked when he saw the other party, what is it? Why did you visit my dream? The immeasurable destruction venerable was silent for a moment before saying, why didn't you accept it? I was cultivating. You were not the only one. There were two others. What's the matter? Hanju asked in confusion. His performance dispelled the other party's suspicion. Come to the blank domain. I'll bring you to a place. The immeasurable destruction venerable looked at him for a while before speaking. Hanju asked warily, where? With that, the immeasurable destruction venerable forcefully broke through the dream. Hanju opened his eyes and asked in his mind, is it dangerous to meet the immeasurable destruction venerable now? 2 quadrillion years of lifespan will be deducted. Do you want to continue? Continue. No! Hanju secretly heaved a sigh of relief. It was good that it was not a trap. Actually, he wasn't afraid. He had a way to escape even if he was trapped. His transcendent rule had long been scattered into countless parts. He could revive at any time even if he died. In a sense, a Tao creator could not be killed. Hanju immediately headed to the blank domain. In next to no time, he was enveloped by the immeasurable destruction venerable's power. He didn't resist and let him take him away. Hanju's vision blurred, then he arrived in a mysterious dark space. His will swept out and discovered that this space was endless. It was actually larger than the entire chaos. There was no life here, and it was absolutely empty. Vast auras descended. They were the immeasurable destruction venerable, the chaotic consciousness, and the formless transcendent deity. This was... Hanju was secretly curious. They shouldn't be surrounding him. After all, killing him like this was impossible. A Tao creator wouldn't be so stupid. The chaotic consciousness said, fellow Taoist Han, you're really an ascetic. You ignored us even though we visited you in your dreams. Hanju said, I'm not worried because I didn't offend you. I need to focus on cultivating. The formless transcendent deity said, the chaos suffered many waves recently, and evil devils have appeared. We gathered for this matter. Now that the great Tao worlds have already fused with the chaos, we will all be affected if something changes in the chaos. So that was it. Hanju frowned. I also sensed it before and thought that it was a sign of the great Tao immeasurable calamity, so I didn't care. Could there be another reason? The chaotic consciousness told him there. Yes. Hanju's expression turned ugly. What should I do? Hanju was in a dilemma, as if he was thinking of a desperate situation. His expression darkened. The formless transcendent deity said, now, we have to join forces and prepare early to protect our great Tao world. The immeasurable destruction venerable looked at Hanju and said, although your great Tao world isn't close to the chaos yet, it's only a matter of time. Therefore, let's join forces. We won't be discovered by that existence. Hanju asked in his mind, does the 9th chaos really not know this world? 100 quadrillion years of lifespan will be deducted. Do you want to continue? Continue. No. That's good. Hanju looked at the 3 Tao creators and asked, then, how should we prepare? The chaotic consciousness said, we create clones and teach Tao techniques to increase the strength of the various great Tao worlds to resist the chaotic evil devils. That's it? We can't directly interfere with the chaos, that will alarm him. The number of chaotic evil devils is increasing. Only by protecting our living beings can we be prepared for the next step, the chaotic consciousness said. Hanju could only nod in agreement. The immeasurable destruction venerable said, come here if you think of anything in the future. This space has already been opened for you. News can't be spread. Hanju said, I know what not to do. The Tao creators chatted for a while more before leaving. Hanju returned to the 3rd Tao field and started to think. Just now, when the Tao creators mentioned The Dark Forbidden Lord, they all suspected the most mysterious Tao creator. Hanju was thinking about how to use the Dark Forbidden Lord next. He only had one goal. He wanted to delay the He wouldn't help the other Tao creators overthrow the ninth chaos because he did not have a good impression of them. He had to consider the balance. At this moment, the leader of the nine divine stars, Hanzong Dao, woke up. He asked softly, "Progenitor, is there anything you're worried about? We're willing to resolve your problem for you." The other descendants also woke up. It was the same for Shawnee. Hanju smiled. "It's nothing. It's just that more and more evil devils have appeared in the chaos. I can't deduce their roots, but they can't pose a threat to the chaos for the time being. Cultivate well. If you want to serve me, you have to at least reach the perfected Great Tao Supreme Realm." Perfected Great Tao Supreme Realm. Their expressions changed drastically. It was the same for Shawnee. The perfected Great Tao Supreme Realm was equivalent to the peak of cultivation. They actually had to cultivate to the end before they could do anything for the progenitor. This was too terrifying. They were all mortals before they came here. They panicked when they thought of how long they would be in seclusion in the future. Hanju saw through their thoughts but didn't. A voice came from outside at this moment. "Master, I'm here to visit Su Chi." He first entered the 100-peak immortal river and found Hanju's clone before being teleported to the third Tao field. Hanju doted on Su Chi very much, so his clone. Hanju said, "Come in." The door to the Taoist temple opened and Su Chi immediately stepped in. The former Jinx was already one of the sages with the highest status in the heavenly Tao. His bearing was extraordinary and he did not look like a Jinx at all. The nine divine stars and Shawnee looked at him with curious eyes. Su Chi was also stunned when he saw them. He didn't expect there to be so many people in the Taoist temple. He stopped in front of Hanju and knelt down respectfully. Hanju smiled and asked, "What is it?" Su Chi looked around. "Go ahead. They're all my descendants and won't be able to leave for hundreds of millions of years. You don't have to worry about them knowing your matters." Hanju smiled. The nine divine stars smiled bitterly. Su Chi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. How boring would hundreds of millions of years be? Su Chi took a deep breath and said, "Master, I don't want to stay in the heavenly Tao anymore. I want to return to Cultivate and..." The strongest in the heavenly Tao was also a great Tao sage. Those geniuses who had reached the great Tao Supreme Realm, such as Chuan, Azure Heaven Mystic, Ling, and others, left the heavenly Tao and Qin established a force outside alone. The current heavenly Tao had already reached its limit. Be it strength or faction, it could not increase anymore. Hanju looked at him and said, "Then stay here and cultivate." 1,000 years later, Hanju's lecture ended. He discovered that although Su Chi's cultivation level had improved, it was very slow. It seemed that the heavenly Tao had really made Su Chi relax. How should he wake him up? Hanju suddenly thought of something. He wanted Su Chi to seek refuge with the Creation Emperor Court. After his bad luck lost control, he would have no choice but to enter the transcendent world, just like in the mortal world. Hanju brought Su Chi to the main Taoist temple. He handed this mission to him when he woke up. "I see that you're not very willing to cultivate diligently. I'll send you to the Creation Emperor Court to fight for opportunities. I'll visit you in your dreams in the future and preach the Tao to you," Hanju said. Su Chi looked up with a happy expression. "I'm ashamed to say this. I think so too. If I cultivate diligently, in terms of potential, I can never catch up to others. Only by pursuing opportunities can I have a chance. Hanju said meaningfully, the endless era is about to arrive. Indeed, countless opportunities are about to arrive. However, don't be used and schemed against like in the immeasurable calamity. Remember to visit me in my dreams in any situation. Ashamed, Suchi hurriedly said, I won't repeat the same mistake. If I encounter trouble that I can't resolve, I'll definitely look for you and won't force myself anymore. 11. Hanju said, I'm prepared to make you lose control of the great Tao power of your death. Fiend Celestial. This way, you can subconsciously go to the transcendent world. I'll erase this memory and give it back to you when you succeed. Suchi was first stunned, but then he instantly understood Hanju's intentions. He said, no problem. It's a good opportunity for me to suffer and awaken my past temperament. It'll make me shape up. Hanju was very glad upon seeing his fighting spirit. Not bad, not bad. Cultivate for a period of time here first. I'll especially send a clone to guide you. We'll leave in 10,000 years, Hanju said in a low voice. Suchi naturally had no objections. 10,000 years was not a long time for him. Hanju began to check his emails after his main body returned to the third Tao field. It was as chaotic as ever. The chaotic assembly did not cause much of a stir this time. The attention of all living beings was still on the great Tao immeasurable calamity. Increased. It seemed that these two were also about to enter the calamity. Hanju closed his eyes and continued cultivating after reading the emails. 10,000 years later, Suchi, who had a portion of his memories erased by Hanju's clone, left the heavenly Tao and went to seek refuge with the Creation Emperor court. Suchi just didn't remember that his bad luck had been strengthened by Hanju and would lose control. It was still stable now, but as long as he encountered a fierce battle, it was very easy for him to lose control and go berserk. The reason was that Hanju hoped to deceive the world. It would be too obvious if he rushed to the transcendent world with uncontrollable bad luck. It would be fine if it was after a period of time. Now, it was not only the chaos. The transcendent world was also about to face a calamity. Chaotic battles were endless, and countless experts had been driven mad. Such a development was very reasonable. Time passed. 10 million years passed quickly. Hanju opened his eyes. He was already 180 million years old and automatically obtained a creation heavens chosen. His gaze passed through the chaos and reputation. Suchi took in a disciple after joining the Creation Emperor court. That disciple died tragically when he went out to fight, causing Suchi to be extremely angry. Misfortune erupted, and, after realizing that he could not restrain his bad luck, he left the Creation Emperor court and began to travel alone. Wherever he passed, bad luck filled the air and the stars dried up. The spirit chi dissipated and the living beings found it even more difficult to withstand. Han Ling and Han Huang tried to help him, but although Suchi lacked his memories, he also realized that this was his master's true goal, so he didn't visit Hanju in his dreams. He hadn't encountered a desperate situation yet. Now, he was no longer a pawn that could be slaughtered at will. He could definitely run rampant in the void as a great Tao Supreme. Not bad. Hanju thought silently. He saw the formless, transcendent deity's clone preaching everywhere. The formless transcendent deity did not seem to care about Suchi. Hanju began to deduce and discovered that This fellow had also arranged many pawns in the chaos, Shirtian, and consciousnessless. His methods were similar to Hanju's. In any case, he was causing trouble for the other Tao creators. It was not only the formless transcendent deity. The chaotic consciousness and the immeasurable destruction venerable also had a plan. Good fellow, they had just formed an alliance and were already using such methods. Did I lead the way? Hanju noticed that Yu Yuan, who had inherited the first chaos will, had already left. Hunted down and by chance, came to the ultimate origin world through the netherworld. Apart from Yu Yuan, cultivators from the other great Tao worlds also infiltrated the ultimate origin world. Although the ultimate origin world had a slow start, the ultimate origin Chi suppressed the cultivation of the outsiders. Therefore, these intruders did not cause trouble for the time being. They were all very well behaved and hid in a corner to cultivate. They didn't know that they were pawns and only thought that this was their opportunity. Hanju hesitated to throw them out, but on second thought, this would offend the other Tao creators, including the ninth chaos. In any case, these pawns couldn't threaten the ultimate origin world at all. Hanju could destroy them at any time. The ultimate origin world's foundation didn't attract their fear? Hanju thought in confusion. His ultimate origin world was extraordinary. On second thought, they should have noticed. They wouldn't have sent so many pawns. Otherwise, if it really doesn't work, everyone behind me can curse. I'll pretend to be cursed too. In that case, they won't have the time to care about me. Hanju's eyes lit up. This unstable alliance be united. Hanju first sent a dream to the immeasurable destruction venerable and said that he was cursed by the dark forbidden lord. At the same time, he made some cracks appear in the ultimate origin world like what happened in the chaos. Hanju came to the main Tao field after ending the dream. He took out the book of misfortune and started cursing the immeasurable destruction. This fellow was too weak. Venerable. Hanju only used 10 quadrillion years of his lifespan to damage his Tao heart. He cursed the chaotic consciousness next, causing its Tao heart to be damaged. Then, he put the book of misfortune away. Thousands of years later, the immeasurable destruction venerable gathered them again. It was still that mysterious space. He said in a low voice, "The dark forbidden Lord attacked us. Who wasn't cursed?" The chaotic consciousness said, "I was cursed." The formless transcendent deity added, "Me too." "Oh my God, you really know how to act." "I didn't curse you." Hanju ridiculed him in his heart. His expression was very ugly, and he didn't say a word. "Fellow Taoist Han, what about you?" The chaotic consciousness looked at Hanju and asked. The formless transcendent deity also looked at him. The immeasurable destruction venerable said before he could speak, he was also cursed. He looked for me before I was cursed. At that time, I even asked him to calm down. I didn't expect us to be cursed too. The dark forbidden lord is too arrogant. Does he want to challenge all the Tao creators? Hanju didn't look at the formless transcendent deity, but even without using his gaze, a Tao creator could observe everyone's reaction. This fellow was really stable. It was as if he was really cursed. However, he wasn't cursed now. Instead, he was a suspect. The formless transcendent deity asked, "Where's the yin-yang purity nirvana deity? Should we ask him? What if he answers that he was not cursed? Then, can you guarantee that he's not the dark forbidden lord?" He deliberately confessed that he was not cursed. causing us to be even more suspicious. Indeed not. The most troublesome thing about the Dark Forbidden Lord is not the curse, but the fact that there are no traces of him. The four Tao creators fell silent. Hanju said coldly, "This fellow has cursed me and the heavenly Tao sages since I was in the heavenly Tao. Could he be related to the heavenly Tao? He would appear anxious if he suspected the other Tao creators. It would seem true to target the heavenly Tao he protected. There's no such existence in the heavenly Tao. Tango and the Tao ancestor are not Tao creators. They're just struggling at death's door," the chaotic consciousness replied. The chaotic consciousness said, "That's right. The Dark Forbidden Lord said that he wants to overthrow the order established by the ninth chaos." Hanju nodded. The three Tao creators continued to discuss. As a junior, Hanju listened most of the time. They left several hours later. They still did not understand after discussing it for a long time. In the end, they trusted each other and exchanged more information. Hanju sighed after returning to the third Tao field. Not only was a Tao creator's cultivation impressive, but they were also impressive. Actors. He would have believed them if not for the fact that he was really the Dark Forbidden Lord. These people all had ulterior motives. Although they were cursed by the Dark Forbidden Lord, they still wanted to use the situation to their advantage. No matter what, it was fine as long as they were in chaos and couldn't care about him. Hanju wouldn't really look for the Dark Forbidden Lord. He wanted to cultivate in peace. Shawnee hesitated as he looked at him. What Shawnee wanted to say was indeed related to curses. He was still very smart and knew to be wary of the 9 divine stars. They would have to go out sooner or later. As long as they went out, he might expose his curse power. Progenitor, I felt a very powerful curse earlier. It's very likely the Dark Forbidden Lord, Shawnee said in a low voice. Hanju was surprised. He didn't expect this fellow to really be able to walk on the path of curses. Hanju said, "What did you see?" Shawnee shook his head. "I didn't see it clearly. I could only see a book." This was a scene that only the cursed could see. Hanju said, "I was cursed by the Dark Forbidden Lord previously. Not only me but also other transcendent existences. That's why I left. The Dark Forbidden Lord is busy now. Be careful not to bump into him." Shawnee nodded. "I know. I'm indeed far from being his match. That cursed power is too terrifying. I've never seen such a powerful force, even if..." Progenitor, who are those transcendent existences you mentioned? He wanted to say that even he might not be that strong, but he felt that it was inappropriate, thus, he changed the topic. Hanju said, "You can't say the names of existences like me. You will bear great karma if you do. You can't withstand it." Shawnee did not understand, but he felt that it was impressive. He subconsciously shook his head and did not dare to ask anymore. Shawnee continued cultivating after the dream ended. The 9 divine stars were still cultivating and did not notice their situation. Hanju was also prepared to continue cultivating, but he suddenly felt a powerful aura. The 9 divine stars opened their eyes and looked in the same direction. The border of chaos and the transcendent world. Faction. He gained dozens of domains in just 10 million years. In terms of faction, he was already the number 1 in the chaos. In order to consolidate his power, he was determined to march into the transcendent world and show off the might of the chaos. Hanju saw that the 9-headed divine spirit was also working for Zhao Shuangquan. Wow! This was the support of the Lord of Chaos. It wouldn't make sense for Zhao Shuangquan not to unite the Chaos with the Ninth Chaos. Secret support. Han Yi was younger than Zhao Shuangquan, but his strength kept increasing with his crazy slaughter. He was actually not at a disadvantage in a one-on-one battle with the other party. The 9 divine stars were already great Dao sages and could easily spy on this battle. They watched with relish and even disgust. Shawnee introduced Han Yi to them. He was their ancestor. They were surprised and hoped that Han Yi could win. Han Yi was extremely powerful as he held the world-piercing divine origin bow. The arrows shot out like stars and tore the chaotic void into countless cracks. Zhao Shuangquan held 2 divine weapons, formed by the supreme rules in his hands. They were also powerful. His insufferably arrogant aura made all living beings think of Han Huang from a long time ago. Han Huang had the same attitude when he defeated all the living beings in the chaos. Han Zhu lost interest after watching for a while. Han Huang was still around even if Han Yi lost. Dozens of years later, Han Yi was defeated. While the 9 divine stars felt that it was a pity, another expert appeared in the Creation Emperor court, making them exclaim and also making Han Zhu open his eyes. The Emperor of the Creation Emperor court had made a move. Han Ling drowned Zhao Shuangquan with 10 million Emperor soldiers, shocking the various Great Dao worlds. Although 10 million perfected Great Dao Supreme Emperor soldiers were not adaptable, they crushed Zhao Shuangquan with absolute numbers. Zhao Shuangquan's supreme rules were quickly shattered. Seeing that the situation was not right, the 9-headed divine spirit immediately entered the battle and saved Zhao Shuangquan. However, they were not Han Ling's match even after joining forces. The mighty figures of the 9 extremes were shocked, but they were not stunned. They joined the battle. Han Ling's aura was like a rainbow. She controlled 10 million Emperor soldiers to sweep through the 9 extremes orthodoxy, and there was no help from the Creation Emperor court. She fought the famous 9 extremes orthodoxy alone. They weren't the Emperor's match even if the 9 extremes orthodoxy attacked together. All living beings saw a new invincible person when the 9 extremes orthodoxy fled under Zhao Shuangquan's lead. Creation Emperor Court, Emperor. 10 million Emperor soldiers were too powerful and spectacular, leaving an indelible impression on all the spectators. In the 3rd Dao field, the 9 divine stars and Shawnee walked out of the Daoist temple in disgust outside, afraid of disturbing Han Zhu. That's Ancestor Han Ling? How powerful. My Han family is really strong. We can't be a burden. Han Huang, Han Ling, Han Yi, Han Tuo, Han Yao, and Han Ba Hen. TSK, these are all existences whose names shake the chaos. I wonder when we can make our own name. Cultivate well. The progenitor still thinks highly of you. Otherwise, he wouldn't have specially brought you to his side to cultivate. When did Ancestor Han Huang go out? How many Han family disciples are there in the Creation Emperor court? His descendants discussed animatedly. Even the disciples of the 3rd Dao field surrounded him and spoke excitedly. Although the disciples of the 3rd Dao field did not go out, in the long years, they grew to like to observe the chaos. What they saw and heard far exceeded the 9 divine stars, so they listened to their words very seriously. Han Zhu was immersed in cultivation and didn't care about this. The battle between Zhao Shuangquan and Han Ling was a battle between juniors. He wouldn't care as long as the 9th chaos did not interfere. Han Zhu was already at the late-stage Dao creator realm. Perhaps he couldn't insta-kill the 9th chaos, but he wouldn't be afraid of the other party if they really fought. He was just afraid of trouble. At the edge of the chaos, Li Daokong stepped on a long sword and swept through the void. A huge darkness ahead kept squirming. It was ghastly and terrifying. Upon a careful look, the darkness was actually formed by countless evil devils. These evil... It's already so serious, Li Daokong frowned as he muttered to himself. His eyes narrowed as countless sword chi shot out from his eyes. They were like a torrent of time that drowned the endless evil devils, wanting to kill them all. The evil devils vanished after the sword chi dissipated. Li Daokong wanted to turn around and leave. At this moment, he suddenly saw countless evil devils appear in the depths of the void. The space in all directions cracked and huge evil devils crawled out. In an instant, Li Daokong was surrounded. Li Daokong frowned. Countless green gazes landed on him, but he did not panic. Li Daokong thought silently. At this moment, the evil devils from all directions roared and attacked at the same time. Their speed was extremely fast, like countless black beams of light. A huge battle instantly erupted. This was only a reflection of the situation in the chaos, when the forces in the center were fighting with the other great Tao worlds. The forces at the edge were attacked by the evil devils. These evil devils were different from the evil devils they knew. The power of the great Tao could not hurt them, so they could only use dermic powers. Furthermore, the evil devil's cultivation was very strong. Ordinary living beings were not their match at all. Millions of years later, the number of chaotic evil devils did not decrease but increased instead. Furthermore, they erupted with unstoppable momentum and endangered the entire chaos. It was not only the chaos. Evil devils also appeared in Shurtian, transcendent, and consciousnessless. The number had already reached an uncontrollable level, causing the various factions to have no choice but to stop fighting. The ninth chaos has developed hatred towards you. Current hatred points, 4 stars. Hanju, who was cultivating, was shocked when he saw this notification. He hurriedly asked in his mind, the ninth chaos is certain that I'm the Dark Forbidden Lord. 100 quadrillion years of lifespan will be deducted. Do you want to continue? Continue. It's just suspicion. Then, does he suspect all the Tao creators? Yes, the two questions were similar, so his lifespan was not deducted again. Hanju hesitated for a moment before continuing. Can I curse the ninth chaos to death if I use all my strength? 5 stars of hatred was too high. Hanju also surged with killing intent. 100 quadrillion years of lifespan will be deducted. Do you want to continue? Continue. No, but the ninth chaos will lose his will. His power will cause chaos everywhere. Seeing this, Hanju had no choice but to give up on using the Book of Misfortune. Losing his will was actually equivalent to death to a Tao creator, but the ninth chaos power would wreak havoc. This couldn't be ignored. Once that happened, other than his Tao field, all existences would be destroyed, including his ultimate origin world. He couldn't take the ultimate origin world into the Tao field. Hanju's cultivation would stop growing once his great Tao world was destroyed. Therefore, be it for public or private reasons, he couldn't do that. Forget it. So be it if he couldn't control it. He continued cultivating. Hanju retracted his thoughts. He ended his seclusion after 10 million years. 190 million years old, accumulating 5 creation heavens chosen. Hanju opened his eyes and smiled. His cultivation level could still improve after reaching the late-stage Tao creator realm. Although he was far from perfection, this progenitor, you're awake. Something big has happened in the chaos, Shawnee said with a nervous expression, causing the 9 divine stars to open their eyes. Yes, yes. There are too many evil devils. We can't kill. Han Huang was even born. The chaos is already in chaos. What does that have to do with us? Didn't demons attack the Dao field previously? They can't barge in at all. They can't break in now, but what about in the future? We can't just sit and wait for death. Hanju looked at the chaos after hearing what they said. He saw an extremely powerful evil devil that was stronger than ordinary perfected Great Dao Supremes. In terms of aura, it was indeed not inferior to Han Huang. Ultimate evil chaotic devil. The 9th chaos mental demon. Could it be that the 9th chaos was really about to lose control? Hanju said, "Alright, cultivate well. What happens outside the Dao field has nothing to do with you." His descendants immediately quietened down. Their uneasiness immediately dissipated upon seeing Hanju's calm expression. Hanju continued to observe the chaos and discovered that many worlds had been slaughtered by the evil devils. These evil devils like to eat living beings raw and then refine their souls to strengthen themselves. It could be said to be extremely sinister. If they died in the hands of the evil devils, they wouldn't even have a chance to reincarnate. He's here too? Hanju raised his eyebrows and joy flashed across his eyes.